Our first Legacy Wing inductee tonight is Steve Bosley. Steve's a good friend. He is the co-founder and longtime executive director of the Boulder 10K, a CU graduate that is, in real estate. He's owned football season tickets for over 50 years. He remains one of the university's most devoted supporters. Steve's supported for CU athletics predates the Boulder. Ahead of the 1977 Orange Bowl, he organized a fundraising campaign through the bank to help sponsor Ralphie and her handler's trip to Miami. He's going to tell us a little bit about the shady aspect of that story when he gets up here. Bosley and the bank also purchased and donated the Buffalo Calf, which became Ralphie 2, replacing the original Ralphie for the 1978 season finale. He worked with then athletic director Eddie Crowder to finish the Boulder inside Folsom Field. Since the first finish of the stadium in 1981 was more than 1.6 million participants have finished in Folsom Field, making the race one of the largest 10Ks in the world and the defining part of Boulder's Memorial Day celebration here at the University of Colorado. Steve also served 2 6-year terms as a CU regent, during which he worked closely with 3 athletic directors as vice chair of the Intercollegiate Athletics Committee. His lifelong contributions have also been honored by the school, which awarded him an honorary doctorate in 2003 and the Leeds School of Business Distinguished Alumni Lifetime Service Award in 2018. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome a man who has impacted this institution in a great way, Steve Bosley.
Well, this is overwhelming. I praise God for my many blessings, one being my association with the University of Colorado. I'm deeply grateful and immensely proud of this honor from CU Athletics. I am in rarefied air in the Legacy Wing. I'm inspired to continue to support the Buffs. Many of my family are here from all over the country. It would take me the rest of the evening to introduce them all. How about you stand up? I love you. I have special friends at CU that assisted me, guided me, and gave me some assistance when I was on the Board of Regents. Leonard Deniger, Charlie Sweet, Pat O'Rourke, Ken McConnell, Christina Beck, Kimberly, Earl Wright, whom I worked with at the Benson Center, and Wonder Woman, Cheryl Kisling. Many more in the room that I could thank. I needed a lot of help. I have 2 special friends here tonight. A person is fortunate in their life, I'm told, to know somebody that's a genius. Well, I have 2 friends here tonight who are geniuses. Lon Lee, for 45 years, he created the format and directed the live TV coverage of the Boulder, which held the #1 rating for 25 years and was awarded 19 Emmys. Jim Adler has been my friend and marketing and communications advisor since 1972. My 2 banking ventures, including the Boulder. My appreciation to Chancellor Swartz and Athletic Director George for the ongoing commitment to the special Boulder CU partnership. Mentioned earlier, over 1,600,000 people have finished the race at Folsom Stadium. I don't know where you are, but here's the Boulder leadership team. Dee, Andy, Luke, Eric, and Emily. Pop up, wave. Oh, they went back to work. Thanks to Mark Johnson, Dave Platty, CU Sports Information Encyclopedia, and all you Buff supporters here this evening. I have great admiration for America's best athletic director, Rick George, a collegiate athlete, a remarkable businessman, a visionary and inspirational leader for CU athletics. I ask that Rick will be part of the future teams, university leaders, and visionaries developing a structure for college sports to deliver fair athletic competition to Americans. while continuing the critical commitment to the student part of student athlete. As mentioned, but soon after I arrived in Boulder in 1974, Athletic Director Eddie Crowder came to meet with me to get acquainted and talk athletics. Might have been some donation discussion. And when CU was preparing for its trip to the 1997 Orange Bowl, I proposed to Eddie that the Bank of Boulder would raise the funds for that trip. The Denver Post did a great story, which certainly stimulated our fundraising and was a linchpin, because the next day, an AP UPI writer called me to discuss Ralphie and the trip to the Orange Bowl. He learned getting a half-ton female buffalo named Ralphie 2,000 miles to Miami, along with her special trained Ralphie handlers, was no small feat. He asked about trip details, and I said it was all confidential planning with the handlers. Talk to a reporter like that? You think you get some curiosity? He understood the need for confidentiality. That day, his story went nationwide with a 1.25-page picture of Ralphie leading CU onto the field. From his article, Ralphie's journey has captured national attention, with fans and media buzzing about the Buffalo's starring role in the Orange Bowl activities. Schools have been known to kidnap a Rifles mascot, and a buffalo napping prank would be a bold move, but not unprecedented in the annals of college sports. To thwart any would-be kidnappers, Ralphie's handlers have devised a closely guarded route from Colorado to Florida. However, one thing is certain: when Ralphie thunders onto the field, Colorado's spirit will be impossible to miss. I assured Eddie that the reporter was only spinning a plausible story, which was garnering national attention, generating $15,000 in the first 2 hours. The goal had been $2,500. And we weren't done. Note, finance guy in me, $15,000 in December 1976 is $85,416.20 today. The amount we raised in excess of the final cost of the trip was placed in a special Ralphie Care account for future Ralphies, which was transferred to CU Athletics. Note, reminding Brandy, Ralphie 7 was recently introduced. Now, for the full story about a very special Buffs team. At the Orange Bowl, my wife and I had seats near the staging area for Ralphie. At halftime, a handler signaled for me to come down to the field, telling me we had a problem. The state trooper captain confronted us, telling us, "This buffalo ain't running." No exaggeration. We challenged it, saying the agreement was the buffalo runs at the start of the game and the start of the half. And he even more aggressively said, "This buffalo ain't running on this field." Things started unfolding rapidly. As the troopers moved away, we noted they were spreading as they moved downfield, noting that. We all moved close to Ralphie's trailer. One of the handlers threw his hat down and began angrily charging around. Others joined with the frustration demonstration. We observed the troopers' smirks and backslapping. Without any discussion, our collective mindsets was simply spoken determination. Ralphie was going to run. The handlers moved around for several minutes, quietly preparing that everything would be in place for Ralphie to run. With continued observations, we noticed the troops positioning on the field had started opening a path. Suddenly, all was clear for Ralphie to run. Ralphie and her handlers thundered onto the Orange Bowl field, greeted by a roaring crowd. They ran at their fastest pace, and at the end of the run, immediately loaded her into the trailer. Doors slammed, handlers loaded, and the getaway. An immediate vehicle pullout, and Ralphie and her handlers were gone, headed for Colorado. I melded into the crowd to quickly return to my seat as I observed some troopers were scanning and searching the crowd. It echoed in my ears that I had said to the team, "I'll take care of things." To be safe, my wife blocked me from the view. The next day, I described everything that occurred to A.D. Crowder. He began an investigation to find out what was behind the attempted Ralphie shutdown. Soon, he considered it a dead story, declaring nothing would be gained in pursuing it. Great perception. Certainly not going public. And he did not want CU to be an embarrassment to the Orange Bowl. This Ralphie Handler's buff team demonstrated CU championship mentality, and Ralphie ran twice on national television, New Year's Day, 1977. Go Buffs.